Okay, shall we try this again? Serves me right for working on a cooktop that was a little messy. There was some stuff stuck on it and was smoking up. So, yeah. There we go. Where's my... there we go. Yeah, you did. I threw the cat outside. Sorry about that, Callum. I could try and pull her back in afterwards. She might actually come back in when she starts smelling food. So, for the time being, we're going to leave her outside because she's just noisy. And, yeah. Okay, so, I just got home from work about half hour ago. Maybe 40 minutes ago now. I was very hungry. I had other ideas, bowl of cereal, something like that, but I'm so hungry I think I'm going to cook myself something. So I think we're going to go for pasta just because I'm that hungry. Yep. So I got a pot of water getting ready to boil. I'm going to put some salt in that. I like salted water for my pasta. It's that Italian thing, not from my side of the family, but yeah. And late night pasta, honestly, really good. I'm going to make something easy. It's got a few ingredients, but these are ones that I always have on hand, and it's just like this really great, tasty, fast pasta to make. I can do the sauce in as much time as it takes me to cook the pasta, so we're gonna hope for that, and I just won't cook too much pasta so I actually sleep at some point tonight. But hey, it's daylight savings time, so it means I got an extra hour to do all of this. That sounds good to me. So I'm gonna grab a bag of pasta. Alright, this is pretty classic penne. That's really good for doing sort of a not too saucy pasta sauce. If you have something a little bit more saucy, wet, you want something like a longer pasta, like a spaghetti or linguine. This one here is going to be a bit more on the dry side of pasta. Yeah, so I'm going to use these. They're penne rigate. Don't pay any attention to the brand. Doesn't matter. The pasta is good, and that's what we're going to use. So, yes, I will cut that open and get it ready, and not pour myself too much pasta, because otherwise I will eat it all, and that's probably not a good idea. So we'll do. That's good. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, so the sauce I'm making tonight is going to be a Puttanesca sauce. Now, a Puttanesca sauce is a classic Italian sauce, and it has a sort of yeah, self-side portion. I think so, eh? Like, I'll probably cook them and I'll have twice as much as I really need, but I'll eat them anyways. I'm not hungry, I think. I feel if I pour from the bag and don't do it in a bowl, I'm gonna end up making too much, and then I'll feel bad about not eating it, and then have like a half a leftover in the fridge, and yeah, no, let's not do that. So yeah, Puttanesca sauce is, it has a sort of, an interesting story behind it. So the story is that this was a sauce that the women of the night used to cook for themselves, the women who were working in brothels in Italy, in between clients when they had a moment to sit and eat something, because, you know, everybody has to eat sometime, and they had breaks during their, yeah, so it would be Puttanesca. So yeah, you almost got it there, Callum, just one more T in there. So yeah, familiar with it from... Are you? Okay, nice. Do they tell you how to make it by any chance? Do you know the ingredients that go into it? Curious now. I like that they actually use this in television shows and stuff. Don't recall. Okay, so it's basically stuff that you would have on hand, and this is what these women would have, these ingredients on hand. They're ingredients that you don't necessarily need a refrigerator for. So you could keep them on a shelf, and they would mix up this sauce really quickly. Like I said, it takes about the same amount of time as it does to cook the pasta. So then you would be able to have a bite of pasta in between your clients. So like I said, it takes maybe 10 minutes to make and then another 10 to eat, and you're good. So the story comes that it comes from them. But the ingredients is what's the important part. So it's not a super saucy pasta sauce. It is based on tomatoes, but it's based on a lot of other stuff. And since this is one that I make quite frequently and oftentimes late at night, because it is so quick, I always make sure that I have these on hand. And they don't take up a lot of room. They're always in my fridge, so it's all good. So, to start, we're going to need some garlic. And actually, I'll have to pull some off of my braid. So, I grow garlic. So I'm going to show off my beautiful, this is a garlic braid of garlic that I grew in the garden. This is half of what I've got for the winter. And then there's another batch that's actually already been planted for next year in the garden. But this is my homegrown garlic. Now I know the heads are a little bit small, but they're actually quite delicious. And they're very nice. And I'm dropping paper in my pan, which is not good. So I'm going to take that out of there. So I'm going to pull one of those guys off, because you need garlic at the base of most, if not all, good pasta sauces. I think the only one you don't put garlic in is a ragu. You don't put garlic because that's not Roman in style. And carbonara, you wouldn't want to put any garlic in. You can, but it's not traditional. So, garlic and chilies, because I like it spicy. We're going to go for just the regular chili flakes. So, that's those there. And that would be the base of the sauce. So, grab a couple of these cloves of garlic, break them off of there. And, oh, that's a few too many. Now, my garlic cloves are actually relatively small, so the inside's relatively small too. And grab a knife, get this dirt off of here, because we don't want dirt in the sauce, so I'll take that off. There we go. Peel those garlic cloves. And we're going to start the base of the sauce with a good dash of olive oil in the pan, and then put the garlic and chili in it to infuse. Then we add a bunch of other stuff to it. So we'll do that. We'll do that. And I'm going to chop this up. I hope that when I turn that burner back on that crud doesn't start smoking up again like it did. Hopefully not. Alright, so olive oil. And this is kind of the base for the sauce, is the olive oil, so you want to be a little bit more generous. I'm going to put the garlic in there, and I'm going to put the chili flakes in there too. And I put it in the cap first because if I pour straight in, pour too many, I can't take them out. But if I pour them in the cap, I can always put them back in the jar. You don't want an overly spicy sauce. Alright, so we're going to go down to there. See what happens. So, besides the garlic and the chilies, we're going to put in capers. So I've got some capers. Some black olives, which I still have a ton of them hanging around in my fridge, so that's a good ingredient. Got some tomato sauce to make it a little bit saucy afterwards. There's the olives. And, rather controversial ingredient, this is anchovy paste. Now, there's kind of a sort of I'd say anchovies get a bad rap because of the fact that they're fish. And you've got like this stereotypical idea in your head of the pizza with the anchovies that get put on by mistake. Everybody's like, ew, who puts fish on a pizza? So I think when I was a kid, I had that similar mentality to anchovies. I didn't really understand them. I didn't really want them in anything. Anchovies are actually a really good, and to use one of those cliche words, umami flavor. So they have a really nice salty depth of flavor. You add it to something, it doesn't taste like fish. It just tastes rich and flavorful and salty. And so you don't have to add a lot of salt to this sauce because you add the anchovies. So when I buy them, rather than getting a can or a jar that you have the actual fillets in, this looks like a tube of toothpaste basically, but it's an anchovy paste that comes out of it. And you only add about a tablespoon worth just to give flavor to the sauce. It's not going to give any bony texture. It's not going to give any like fishiness to the sauce, but it adds this flavor to it that's really, really enjoyable. And so I think more people need to, I don't know, try anchovies again to relearn what they can taste like, rather than that idea that we have of the little fish on things. But yeah, that's my thing on anchovy paste. There you go. So yeah, I buy the paste because it doesn't look like the fish. It mixes into stuff quite nicely. So, anchovy paste. There you go. The new ingredient. Everybody should try it again. Then we've got some capers. So capers add a nice saltiness too, and they also add a nice like an acidity to the dish. You could add some lemon zest too, but the lemon zest tends to burn up in the sauce, whereas the capers don't, because they're much more wet in texture. Oh, did you hear food? Did you hear food? Did you want to come in and say hi now? Yeah, come on. Come on. Come say hi to the peoples. Alright, Callum, you ready? This is going to be fast because there's water boiling on the stovetop, but here's the kitty. Hello, kitty. Linky, say hi. Nope. There you go. That was a kitty. So the water's boiling. I'm going to put my pasta in. Yeah, there we go. If she's patient, I'll try and get her back up here again. Hang on. Come here. Come here, ladies. Come say hi. Ta-da! She's like, no, I don't want to be on the stovetop now. Ta-da! Sorry. I'm trying. She didn't want to have it now. But you might hear her meow. What is it? What, Linkies? Alright. She'll be back. So, capers, anchovy paste, tomato sauce, olives. There we go. Olives. Hey, you get to watch me pit olives again. How fun is that? Alright, so you've been blessed by seeing a kitty. So cute. I have 2 of them here bouncing around somewhere. At one point I had 4 cats in the house. That got to be a little too much. I mean, don't tell anybody. I love cats. I like having so many of them around, but it's a small house. You can't go out. Do you want to say hi again? No, you don't want to get too close to the water. No? Okay. I have to admit, having cats in the house is nice, though. And you have a little ball of fluff curl up on top of you at the end of a really rough day, and everything seems like, you know, that sort of like dark cloudy feeling. The cats really do kind of suck that negative energy out of you and just replace it with fluffiness. I totally get that. Yep. So I've got capers. These ones are tiny too. I've actually got really big ones, which are better for like olive dishes and stuff. These ones are really tiny. Here we go. These are the big capers. Check this out. That's a caper. They're about like olive sized, just as tangy. Yeah, they are fun shaped. It's also debatable as to whether they are bread shaped too, sometimes. Loaves and croissants and yep. Alright. This is looking nice. Can you see that bubbling there? Yeah, you can, eh? So I don't want the garlic to toast. I don't want it to brown. I don't want it to get bitter. I just want it to infuse in the oil. So I'm keeping the temperature low. But I'm going to add in some of my other flavors now. So there's my capers. Here's my anchovy paste. Squeeze a little bit of that out of there. Like I said, it's kind of like a brown toothpaste. But it'll mix in really nicely and you won't even see it. But it adds that really nice punch of flavor. Now, of course, now we keep everything in the fridge, but used to be that all of this stuff was just kept on a counter in a cupboard or something. I like olives, so we're gonna put a lot of olives. And I think I showed you the pitting technique. Yeah, I think I did. There we go. Flatten those out. Oop. Oop. There we go. Oh, offer me promotions. No thanks. How nice of you to offer though, but I'm not interested. Oh, guess you can't get rid of those, eh? Once they show up, those bots. Guess they have nothing better to do with their time at 11:40 at night than to monopolize my sad little stream here and my cooking. Turn that down now. I'm gonna pop my olives right in there. Boop, boop. So, question for you. What kind of pasta do you... Yeah, spam in the chat. I know. What kind of pasta do you like to go to for easy dinners, Callum? Do you like the short noodle pastas? Do you like the spaghettis? Macaroni and cheese? Not the box stuff though, like an actual made macaroni and cheese. What's this smells like make or less? Oh, here we go. Nice. That's still good. Especially in Alfredo sauce. Yum. You know what? I don't have a problem with that. Shortcuts are always a good thing. And if you're going to make a good Alfredo sauce, right? Why not? It's got a lot of cheese in it. Yeah, mac and cheese is tasty stuff too. Well, so mac and cheese is kind of like a combination of 3 basic ingredients, right? You've got your pasta, you've got your sauce, and then you've got your cheese. Oh, yeah, spaghetti and meat sauce is always good. Or meatballs. Meatballs are good. But going back to the macaroni and cheese, three basic elements in there. And as long as you get your white sauce good, the other 2 are basically super easy, right? So you just have to be able to make a good white sauce. And I find the trick with the white sauce, when you're making especially a macaroni and cheese, is to make it a little bit more on the liquidy side. Like you want it to be less creamy and a little bit more milky. Because when you add your cheese in and then stir it around and the cheese melts into your sauce, it's going to thicken it up that much more. And so if you start with a really thick white sauce, you're going to get like a really gloopy macaroni and cheese. So you want to go heavy on the milk. Yeah. Other than that, I find that any kind of cheese, with the exception of like a super soft cheese like a brie or a camembert, they work really, really good. Or any other cheese works really well in a macaroni and cheese. I mean, I usually do a mac and cheese to use up any like cheese bits that are kind of hanging around in the fridge, especially ones that are starting to get hard. They melt up in the sauce no problems, so that works really well. But yeah, you know, dumping mozzarella. Okay, so mozzarella is a much more gooey, stringy cheese, so that's gonna change the consistency of your Alfredo sauce a little bit more to the stringy, sort of gloopy side. You want to go more for like a cheddar, or yeah, I guess an orange cheese. See, there's a, it's hard to talk cheeses because there are a lot of variety of cheeses available in Quebec. And yeah, and when I was traveling in the States, I noticed that the variety of cheeses were not as great in the United States. I mean, sure, there's like blocks of mozzarella and blocks of like a white and an orange cheddar, and then you have, what is it, the Monterey Jack, and the, I think there was some Goudas and stuff, but far beyond that, unless you're going into like like Wisconsin where they're really known for cheese, there didn't seem to be a heck of a lot of variety in cheeses. So, yeah. So, honestly, any of those kind of have a very similar baseline taste to them. Any of them would work really well on a mac and cheese, but orange ones I find are always really tasty in a mac and cheese, and you get that really nice orange color that you almost expect from a mac and cheese. So yeah, I would kind of do a milky white sauce, add some orange cheddar, and like do a half cheddar and half mozzarella if you like it really gooey. And then, if you really want to go crazy, put some breadcrumbs on top of it and pop it in the oven right at the end. And you get a little bit of crispiness. That's always yummy. Yeah, mac and cheese experiments. Sounds awesome. Oh, you want to know what you might want to experiment with, Callum? Oh no? Okay. Alright, so we'll leave out the breadcrumbs then. That's okay. Mac and cheese is good in a big bowl too. Okay, so when you do mac and cheese, regardless of whether it's the box kind or the homemade kind, do you add ketchup? Like, at the end when you have a bowl of it, do you just like drizzle ketchup on top of it? Okay, wait. Hear me out. So, here in Canada, we have mac and cheese, except it's not called mac and cheese. It's called Kraft Dinner. Don't ask me why they came up with that name, but here, if you buy the boxes, the blue boxes with the orange macaroni on them, it's called Kraft Dinner. And the way to eat Kraft Dinner when you make it is you serve yourself a big bowl of your Kraft Dinner and you drizzle ketchup on top. And I swear to you, the acidity of the ketchup with the creaminess of the mac and cheese is a divine combination. And if you want to go one more, you put like fresh tomatoes or like a little drizzle of tomato sauce. But man, the mac and cheese and ketchup combination, wow, it's so good. And you can do it with a homemade mac and cheese too. But for me, the classic is really the box stuff with the ketchup drizzle on top. And I mean, I think everybody I knew always ate it like that. It was just natural. You would have your Kraft Dinner with a little bit of ketchup on it. Just try this next time when you're eating your mac and cheese. Grab a forkful of your mac and cheese and put like a drop of ketchup on it, just to try, and see what you think, and then tell me. Because I'm telling you, it is a revelation. I promise you, it's something. Let's see. Do we have pastas? Ooh, maybe. I've gotten good. Pasta is very close. Yeah, I like ketchup with French fries. That's about it. I'm not a hot dog person, so I don't have ketchup on my hot dogs. I do on my hamburgers, but not on hot dogs. I don't eat hot dogs. And I tend to eat like sausages and stuff, but with mustard, like a good heavy-duty Dijon. Oh, mayonnaise. Yeah, mayonnaise with French fries is good. And mayonnaise with hamburgers and other stuff are also very good. Yep. Yeah, I approve of the mayonnaise. That's always good. Well, it's not really an oh my god, I have to have it. It's just, I don't know, it's one of those condiments that just kind of finds itself in the bottom of the fridge. And, okay, so that might be a regional thing too. There tends to be a lot of sugars added to the ketchups south of the border. I'm not trying, yeah, that's it. Ketchup up here is maybe a little bit more on the tangy side. Like, think of, like a tanginess of a salad dressing. I think ketchup resembles more that than the sweet side of things. So maybe it's that? I don't know. I've never really thought ketchup being... Plus, I find... Yeah. I find that ketchup is good having to be in the fridge for... Yeah, it is. It's... Well, because it's got vinegar in it. So it has that vinegary tanginess. I mean, it's not as tangy as a salad dressing, but it's closer than something sweet. Anyways, maybe these will be things that we will need to study later in detail. I like to keep ketchup because it's a good ingredient for making sauces. There's a lot of like Asian sauces that I make that have ketchup as a base. Oh no, you haven't had bad luck with ketchup. I think the ketchups are just made slightly different, possibly. Alright. I'll give you that. The thing with ketchup is sweet. That's fine. Okay, so this is toasty enough. I have a leftover bit of tomato sauce, so I'm going to add that in to add a little bit of extra oomph. Not necessary. It can be sun-dried tomatoes, or a spoonful of sun-dried tomato pesto, or something else. Or you could leave it with just the oil and the other ingredients. That's a very good classic thing, but the little bit of tomato, kind of going back to the macaroni and cheese thing, adds that nice tanginess to the entire dish and just kind of ties the whole thing together. So I would not add ketchup to this, just pointing that out. Definitely a tomato. Fresh tomatoes would work too. We could do that. Let's see. Back to the pasta. Boop. I'm good. Pasta's good. So I want this to be nice and saucy and stick. I'm going to take my pasta. And please tell me you don't rinse your pasta. Please, unless you're making pasta salad, don't do it. All that lovely starch on there is going to thicken the sauce. And it's going to help the sauce stick to the pasta. If you rinse your pasta, you're losing all those beautiful starches. And I wouldn't say you're ruining your dish, but you're certainly not helping yourself. The only time you rinse pasta is if you're making a pasta salad, and then you're rinsing it because you want it to cool down. That's the only reason. So I turned up the heat on my sauce now that I put my pasta in there, just so that the pasta's kind of... Yeah, well, I do that, but it's the same as this, right? So imagine this is my strainer, and I'm just taking the pasta out of the water rather than taking the water out of the pasta. Same thing. But I'm not rinsing it. I'm not running it underwater. Some people do that. It's weird. Well, yeah, that too. Why would you put the extra effort in there to wash your pasta? It's not like it's dirty, right? So you see it's all that tomato is sticking to it now because it's got that starchiness in there. And it's not too much sauce. It's really... yeah, exactly. It's really just kind of thickening up and sticking to the pasta and coating it nicely. So all the noodles have just a little bit of that super flavorful sauce on there. I mean, yeah. Yeah, that works for me. So turn off the other burner, take the pasta into the bowl. Oh, and I think the portion's good too. Okay, I'm happy now. I'm gonna put this there, 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 there. And that's gonna get a little bit of cheese on top because, yeah. What do I got? Really hard cheese. Alright, normally I would put like a little bit of grated Parmesan on there, but I'm not finding any, so we're gonna go with some white gooey cheddar. Curiously, this has the puts in label on it. You see that? We're so stuck with our poutine in this culture that we've actually branded certain cheeses as being good to use for making poutine. So my white cheddar block is actually labeled as poutine cheese. Or at least that's what the picture tells me. But why not, right? Hi, Percy. Do you want to say hi? Oh, you want cheese, eh? I might be able to show you cat number 2. Hang on a second. Wow, I know. Come here. Want to say hi? All right, ready? Percy's. This is cat number 2. She looks like a black hole, but I promise she's there. Percy, say hi. Oh, almost. Cat number 2 loves cheese. If she hears a package of cheese open, this noise, she comes running. So I will give her some because she's been good. Come here. Percy. There you go. Do you hear them meowing too, Callum? Because the other one's meowing at the door here. Because she's jealous she's not getting any cheese. Yes, I hear you. Hi. There you go. All right. Cats have earned their tribute for the night. Get some cheese. Ha. Da-da-dum. Pasta. That makes me happy. There we go. Are we good? I think we're good. Mm-hmm. Yep, it's delicious. Alright, I think I'm gonna sit down and eat this. Try to slow myself down so I don't devour it in 2 bites, because that probably would be a bad idea. But I'm not hungry right now, so. Have a great night. See you soon. Ta-ta.